At a distance, Playtime Company presents itself as the pinnacle of American industry, a vibrant, whimsical factory where childhood dreams are manufactured. But beneath the colorful assembly lines and the catchy jingles lies a subterranean nightmare of sprawling caverns, experimental laboratories, and cold, steel holding cells. While Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 finally gave us the answers we've been scavenging for, the truth is far more sinister than any fan theory predicted. For years, the community was convinced that the prototype was none other than Elliot Ludwig himself. However, the latest lore drops have shattered that illusion, revealing a story rooted not in a father's grief, but in a visceral, deep-seated envy. Today, we're peeling back the skin of Chapter 5 to examine the notes, the tapes, and the horrifying biological reality hidden in the depths of the factory. The game opens with a chillingly normal commercial for the In-N-Out toys. Plushies that can be literally turned inside out to reveal a second form. In the context of the lore, this isn't just a gimmick, it's a glimpse into the prototype's surgical manifesto. As the footage glitches, we see the grim reality. The prototype is performing in-and-out surgeries on the surviving orphans. This isn't just mindless torture, it's a grotesque form of resource management. By turning children into these inverted, toy-like entities, the prototype reduces their biological needs. These creatures have spent so long in the pitch black that they've become photophobic, making our new star toy, with its ultraviolet and high-intensity light, our only means of warding off the horrors lurking in the shadows. As we descend deeper, we encounter Giblet, a character whose very existence is a testament to the prototype's cruelty. Giblet was once a normal experiment, but the prototype inverted him and stitched him back together as a display of absolute dominance. Through Giblet, we learn that the prototype rarely visits these lower levels, yet our arrival has stirred him. We also witness the tragic state of Bron. In a haunting display of collective survival, we see that Bron has a literal hole in his stomach. He eats so that the scraps falling from his midsection can feed the smaller, hungrier creatures below. It's a cannibalistic ecosystem of necessity. After retrieving a grab pack from the remains of a former employee, we stumble into the heart of the mystery, Subject 1007. The secret to the factory's life is the poppy gel, a biological concoction perfected by Elliot Ludwig to bring the dead back to life. Subject 1007 is the crown jewel of this madness, Poppy Ludwig. In the world of manufacturing, a prototype is a rough draft, a vessel for trial and error. This is where the prototype's obsession with Poppy turns from protection to pure resentment. The prototype was the rough draft, the discarded, painful first step. Poppy is the final product, the masterpiece that received all of Elliot's love and attention. The prototype doesn't want to save Poppy, he wants to dismantle the legacy of the girl who was chosen over him. In the playcare sector, we discover the psychological machinery used to break the children's spirits. The scientists used Mrs. Gracie, a maternal mascot, to broadcast brainwashing videos that equated being a toy with ultimate happiness. The goal was simple, the ego death. They wanted the children to forget their names and identify solely as the plastic husks they inhabited. But the irony is bone-chilling. During the hour of joy, the toys captured the real Mrs. Gracie and performed the transfer, trapping her soul inside the Lily Lovebraid's puppet. We find Lily tucking her own human skeleton into bed, treating her former self as a separate person. She has been so thoroughly consumed by her own propaganda that she no longer remembers she was ever human. Throughout Chapter 5, we are hunted by the raw, unbridled rage of Huggy Wuggy. But the tapes reveal a heartbreaking truth. Huggy wasn't born a monster. He was a child who was shocked for failing simple tests, who watched his friends get fed into a meat grinder for disobedience. Kissy Missy was his only tether to his lost humanity, his emotional regulator. When the prototype brutally executes both of them in front of us, it isn't just a kill, it's the prototype eliminating any trace of unauthorized connection within his kingdom. But the final blow comes from the voice on the radio. Olly, the one who has been guiding us since Chapter 3, was never our ally. Olly is the prototype. The tapes between Elliot Ludwig and a young boy named Olly reveal a history of neglect. Olly was the first successful living toy, but he was treated as a tool, a stepping stone to get to Poppy. Olly's hatred for Poppy stems from a lifetime of being the unwanted son. He didn't just take over the factory, he's been playing us like a fiddle, leading us exactly where he needs us to be. As the episode closes, we see Poppy submerged in puppy gel, a state of pure, unbridled desire. Her the very substance that shapes the fate of this universe. This gel doesn't just heal, it changes you. It strips away what's left of the soul and leaves behind something much more feral. With Dr. Sawyer still hiding in the shadows and the prototype finally revealing his true face as Olly, the stage is set for a final, catastrophic showdown. The boy who was forgotten is now the god of the abyss, and Poppy may not return from the gel as the friend we once knew. The hour of joy was just the beginning. The hour of revenge is coming in Chapter 6.